So, here's what we're going to do. We're going to do the Extrude Tool. And I'm pulling out this little plane. Okay, great. The Extrude Tool. If I go up here to edit mesh... Actually, they moved it. Crap. They moved it again. Okay, Extrude. Control E. That's your hotkey for getting to the extrude. If you have an open surface, like a plane, if you go in, Control E, and you extrude, whoop, it goes in and fills the backside. Okay, that's good to know. Good to know. And if I do things like I grab a face here, let's grab a face here, let's grab a face here. Okay, great. And then I go ahead and I hit Control E and I can extrude. Great. Whoop. Pull these out in different directions. Currently, this is a local axis. If I go and I click this and switch it, changes it to global. And so if I tried to pull it, they would all go in that direction, okay, or this direction. If I tried to scale them, they'll scale uniformly from the center, okay, but if I go and I click this, I go back to local. When I go in to scale them, they scale like this. Okay, just like the rotate tool. The rotate tool, when I do this, they're scaling locally. When I click on this, it goes global, and now I activate the rotate portion of the tool. Okay, and if I do something like that, what happens if I add divisions? Well, that's kind of interesting. It's got a little bit of a curve to it. Okay, we'll come back to that later. What else do you need to know? Extruding. So if I go in and I extrude, you can pull in various directions. Let's grab a bunch of faces like this. Okay. And if I go ahead and I hit extrude, Control E, boop. Okay, you can pull it up. Actually, if I do this, if I scale it, something interesting to note is I scale it, it looks wacky. Okay, but if I use the offset, sometimes the offset will give me something kind of interesting. It's actually done not too bad of a job here, going in and offsetting from the edge. So that's not too bad. Okay. Let's see, what else can we do that's interesting? What if I go in here and I grab a face and I hit Control E and I pull it up, and maybe I can scale it down a little bit. If I go and decide to grab the rotate tool and I rotate around, around, then around, then around, then around, then around, then around, and then I add the divisions, whoop, you start to get this nice little spiral thing. It only goes up to 25 when you go and you just slide through it, but if you go and you type in, say, 100, okay, we can get something potentially interesting. Whoop. Okay. Scale tool, scale it down. Okay, great. Okay, so that's potentially interesting. Some other things to note, like how I kind of did this funny curve here. If you went and you grabbed a face, and you hit Control E to scale it, or to extrude it, if you go and you switch from local to global, you can actually move the pivot point. And so if I move the pivot point over here, then I grab the rotate, and I rotate it. Maybe I'll hold down J while I rotate. There. So I rotated it 180 degrees. Then I add divisions. Whoop, you get this. Perfect arcs. Okay. And anything else I can think of on the rotate? Oh, I know what other things are great that are on Extrude. This is kind of interesting. Remember, you can extrude vertices. So if I grab a bunch of vertices, boop, like this, then I hit Control E, boop. Okay. So that's interesting. I don't use that much. Divisions, it usually kind of creates some bad, crappy geometry, just like I wouldn't extrude edges out of this. If I'm going to extrude edges, I'll be doing things like I'd probably take a face and delete it, and then grab an edge and hit Control E and then pull it out. And right now it's going along its local axis, and then I can hit G and repeat the last tool command and keep extruding. Okay, but it's going to go off on a funny angle. But that's because I wanted to make an open surface. I didn't want to extrude at the side. But here's another good one that's kind of interesting. What if I go and I grab a bunch of faces, like these, and then when I hit Control E and I extrude, and I pull it up, okay, now we don't see it here, but down here on the side, we've got this, okay, there's keep faces together, we'll come back to that one. Offset, there is, where the hell is it? Oh, it's up here, random. So when I do random, and I highlight that and I do this, I can randomize the surface. That's kind of interesting. Okay, and keep faces together. So if I go in here and I grab, say, this face all the way to this face, and when I hit extrude, Control E, and I pull them out, Then I go down to the options for this extrude, and I look for key face together. It says on. If I go and I type in 0 for off, you get this. Okay, they split up. Okay, that's handy to know about. Okay, and then there's this twist and taper. Twist doesn't do a damn thing. Taper doesn't do a damn thing. Okay, so what the hell do they do? Well, in order to get those to work, what I need to do is I need to go create CV curve tools. I need to have some kind of curve. And what I'll do is I'll take this and I'll go la 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 la, and then enter. And actually, I do believe this curve is too close to the face. I usually like to have a little bit of space on this here. Okay, so I go in, I grab a face, I grab the curve. Damn you to hell! Okay, I'm in component mode, so I got to get out of component mode. Make sure I try this again. Right-click, face. You bastard! And you wiggled around a little bit. Okay, I grab the curve, and then I go and I hit extrude, Control E, and it goes from the face to the very end of the curve. So I started drawing the curve here and ended over here. Now I just have to add some divisions, and ba-ba-boom! Let's go to 50. There. And now, with that extrude, if I look down here on the side, there is the twist. I can twist it along the extrude, and I can taper. I can taper down. Okay, and anything else in here? Smoothing angle, basically that'll just soften your edges, so you can kind of go in and crank that up. So right now they're probably all hard-edged. So if I deselect, you see that's hard-edged. If I go in here and I grab the extrude face, and I look down here at the smoothing angle, and I bring that up, you see now it looks all soft and doughy along the extrude. And anything else? We've talked about every freaking thing on it. I'm just thinking pivot, pivot, pivot. Okay, great. Scale, 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 local, middle, offset. I did everything. Okay, and I'm done.